Greetings and welcome, everyone. Not too long ago, I got into a lengthy conversation with JustinKND about his observations on the Brony fandom. I believe his words could strike up a very good discussion, so I would like to read to you his thoughts. One of the biggest impacts of MLP that I have noticed is the amount of analysis that has gone into something that was originally intended just to be a glorified commercial for little girls. The characters, the story, the development, the animation has inspired a great many new fans. So much so that smart, mature people have observed the show with a keen eye and broke it down to the specifics where they would explain the details of what makes the show so appealing to them and other fans. Just recently, a particular MLP analyst helped me to discover something. Like-minded individuals will usually find each other and share their thoughts with one another. So everyone who has been inspired just to think, or even better, take the time to contemplate and share on these videos about their experiences and opinions, give yourselves a pat on the back for being part of a group of people who don't spam pointless messages but talk with insight and purpose. The people that I am addressing are examples of what a real audience to a presenter should be. Another reason you guys should be proud is that you are a rarity. There are so many people that watch or read about social media that waste their time just spamming useless words onto the screen. It really is amazing that many people have started to actually give valuable and worthwhile to read comments, and it's amazing that it started from such an unexpected place, a show about cartoon technicolored ponies. JustinKND came up with something that I really hadn't put too much thought into before, but upon our discussion I began to realize a few new things. Just how many other shows out there encourage so much depth and analysis from its fans? One could say that with the current state of the internet that such widespread group efforts are much more common. And MLP is certainly not the first show to garner so many fan theories and interpretations. You could look way back into the early days of Star Wars, Star Trek, and even Doctor Who and be able to find people who spent their time writing their own stories and coming up with their own headcanons. But for me, there seems to be a bit of a difference with MLP. All those other shows that I had mentioned have had decades of time to build up a unified fan base, whereas with MLP it seems that the Brony fan base has been growing far more quickly. We don't have anywhere near the numbers of fans that Star Wars has, but I would say that in the first 3 years since the show began, we have accomplished far more in unifying our fandom than Star Wars did in its early days. Which, again, probably has much more to do with the current state of the internet than anything else. However, Justin brought up some interesting points in his discussion. More often than not, the Brony fandom seems to be attracting the types of fans who put great thought and creativity into their works. Even to this day, I am still being surprised at the amount of fan-made projects there are, and the high amount of quality that are put into them. And as Justin had pointed out, the comments that I am reading through on my videos seem to be a little more well thought out than the standard YouTube comments. More often than not, these videos are attracting those who put much more thought into their responses rather than spamming simple comments over and over like we see in so many other places around the net. This is not to say that the Brony fandom is devoid of people who spam useless words and don't put much thought into their responses. But like Justin, I too have noticed a bit of a difference in how our fandom interacts with each other when compared with the rest of the internet. I take the time to read through every single comment on every one of my videos, and while the process can be rather tedious, I do enjoy seeing the thoughts and opinions of others. And again, much more often than not, I am seeing comments that aren't just quick and useless spamming, but rather insightful and thought-provoking comments that encourage discussion from others. And even though my videos are not devoid of hateful comments that don't add anything of value, I still see a great amount of camaraderie and understanding between my watchers. So, what makes videos about MLP analysis so different? What makes these topics much more of a rarity by drawing in watchers that encourage good discussion? There may be many reasons as to why, but the one reason that I think stands out the most comes down to one aspect: like-minded individuals. It has been part of my purpose from the very beginning that I would create an environment of camaraderie and understanding. I would present myself as being calm and collected, wanting to bring my own thoughts as well as the perspectives of others, and I would hope that by keeping that theme throughout my videos, other like-minded individuals would be drawn to them. And really, that kind of mentality could help explain the audience for many other videos. For many YouTubers, it is not only the content they produce, but also the way they present themselves that bring in an audience, and one's demeanor in their videos will actually help to determine what kind of audience they can attract. But while this sort of thing may be more relevant to someone who produces videos on YouTube, I believe this aspect can be applied to everyone in life. If you want to be interacting with a certain group of people, you should first examine the kind of person that you already are. So what makes the Brony fandom so unique in this respect? This fandom has attracted so many creative minds, so many analytical and thought-provoking minds, so many welcoming personalities that seek to uplift others, and our fandom is centered around a cartoon show about technicolored ponies. But you know what? It works. It really, really works. Not only is our fandom bringing in others who are already creative, thought-provoking, and uplifting, we are also inspiring others to improve upon their creativity, their opinions, and their outlook on life. And again, I think a lot of it goes back to like-minded individuals. As long as we keep creating an environment of camaraderie and understanding, we will draw others who appreciate that aspect. And as long as we encourage healthy and honest discussion between ourselves, we will find our fandom continuing to grow with others who follow that same line of thinking. I applaud those who help to make the Brony fandom even greater than it ever has been before. Whether that be through the many high-quality fan-made projects, creating charity groups that promote a positive influence in the world, or even by establishing a welcoming environment that others would want to take part in. But now I would like to hear from each of you. What aspects of this fandom really drew you in to take part in it? Have you noticed a difference between how the Bronies interact with each other as opposed to the rest of YouTube or even the internet in general? Do you believe that our self-conduct has any real impact on any others who would seek us out? I would like to hear your thoughts on these topics, and here's to looking forward to what else the Brony fandom can amaze us with. Until next time, I am DRWolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.